All right, hello everybody. It is your best friend Justin from J Master Productions. It has been a little while now since I uploaded a video. It's been probably almost 2 weeks. Unfortunately, I got very busy in my personal life. I was actually at a wedding, my cousin's wedding, last weekend, so I was busy with that. And then I was just dealing with a ton of personal matters. A ton of unfortunate events took place in my life personally within this past week, so I was dealing with that as well. But nonetheless, we are back here, and as per usual, a lot going on in the world. A lot that I want to get into today. Stuff about Jim Carrey, Epstein files, the pedophilia that's being leaked, current state of humanity. We'll even touch a little bit on like the alien agenda that's been going on, kind of piggybacking off my last video I did almost 2 weeks ago, when Donald Trump all of a sudden started saying that he's going to do something about aliens and he'll get stuff done about it and release some files, kind of like with this Epstein bullshit, right? I mean, it's all bullshit. That's really the gist of it. But before I get into what I want to say, I really want people to, whatever platform they have, because I feel like I need to explain this a lot to people. In my social media, I have a link tree, right? It's right here, okay? And I'll even zoom in on a little bit for you so you can see better, but take myself out. Look, there's a link tree here, and it's a pinned tweet, right? If you don't have X, don't worry. There, look on the description box below, depending on where you're watching this, right? It's probably going to be on YouTube. YouTube has all my full videos, and then I post clips, just to market it a little bit, so to get my name out there so people can know who I am at least. Because if I don't do any marketing, right, no one's ever going to discover my channel. And I probably have to do more things, on the street and in person with people to get the name out there. And I know I started doing that, and then, back then there was stuff with my job that was going on, so I had to put that on pause, and I haven't been able to go back to it because I do need people to help me with it, and there's not a lot of people that ever really offer help. So listen, I know a lot of you aren't even in my area, but this is the least you could do. Follow me on X, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. I even have Snapchat, okay? It's not in my link tree, but it's in the description box below of my YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel has all the full videos. Everything else has the clips. I don't. People seem to think that do you think I just come up on here and make like 1 minute to 2 minute videos? Yeah, they're edited and stuff through CapCut, so it can look good for social media, right? Because it's hard to get people's attention these days in this attention economy. But like those aren't my full videos. Like people like don't want to watch a 20-minute video for whatever reason, even if they know me. I don't know. Maybe I suck at making content. Maybe people just suck at listening. Maybe it's the attention span. Like I said, I really don't think my videos suck. But maybe they do. Maybe I just have to completely reevaluate how I do things because I don't know what else to do. I've tried all different things. I've been making videos for years, and it's just the simple thing is it's hard to keep people's attention. Or people are, they already have a certain belief and they're just going to count you out. My stuff is for people who are asking questions and who want to know the truth, no matter how much it hurts their feelings. And listen, what I'm getting at in my rant here is to please support me. Okay, I'm not asking you for donations, but please engage with my stuff, like it, comment on it, follow me on any social media that you can, subscribe to my YouTube channel, do anything you can, please. I'm begging you, people who watch me to help me out here. That's all I'm asking for. It's very frustrating that I've been doing this for years and people cannot do the bare minimum. It's very frustrating for me. All right, these are very important messages I need to get out there. It's not to toot my own horn, okay? We're just at a time period where this information is vital. It was vital a long time ago, and this is what I'm saying with the current state of humanity, man. Is, people, their head is not in the right place. Quite frankly, it's just not. People either don't give a shit. I mean, it's out of the box now, right? The secrets are all out that that the politicians and these celebrities are all pedophiles, right? And people are still showing up to their jobs. People are still going about their lives. It's been made. A lot of conservatives and MAGA people think it's a Democrat hoax now, which is it's really funny that they think that. It's laughable. I mean, it's sad. It's frustrating. But the problem, and this is the basis of the problem that I always talk about on my channel here, is people keep putting their faith in the government or some sort of politician or the people they see. And these celebrities, right, like Jim Carrey or whoever, like it doesn't really matter, but one of these celebrities is going to come forward and start saying some truth or start sounding like they're awake or that they're a Christian, like Jim Carrey has done, for example, right? And then people will fall victim to it, and they start to follow these people. They start to subscribe to their messaging, but their messaging is still riddled in occult messaging. People don't have the knowledge to see the bigger picture. And that's why the Bible, and I love that quote in the Bible that where God says, "My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge." And that's simply what's been going on. People have a lack of knowledge. They can't see the bigger picture. They don't understand that these Epstein files are released because they're telling you what they want you to know, and they're not telling you what they don't want you to know. It's a conspiracy theory. Literally, it's a government conspiracy that they're controlling. And you really think you're going to get any truth in that? There's some truth in it. Don't get me wrong. Listen, the Epstein files. I've been talking about it before. How these celebrities and these politicians are involved in sick things with children and human trafficking. I've been talking about it. Many others have been talking about it way before me. Okay, and now it's like no one has given me credit for, let's say, example, in 2020 when I was really exposing a lot of that, and 2019 when I started with just exposing Hollywood celebrities, the signs and symbols that I learned from A Call for an Uprising, if you know that YouTuber, right? And like no one ever messages me saying that you were right about that. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. It sounds so crazy, because it sounds crazy. I know how insane it sounds. It's hard to believe that all these people who you see all the time, who you look up to, would do these things. But you gotta man up or woman up, and you just gotta face the facts, man. That's all I could say. Now I want to touch on Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey has gone viral ever since the interview with him, and he was saying all these weird things like he's dead and he's looking all strange. I mean, this guy blew up. He was all over my X feed. Now he's all over my Instagram feed, and so many people have become aware of this. Am I lagging here? What is this? Come on, man. Ah, geez, it looks like I'm lagging. Hopefully it doesn't come out that way. But regardless, listen, I am no expert here on anything, right? I'm really, truly not, but I understand the bigger picture. Now, a lot of people thought that Jim Carrey was waking up because he went on the Jimmy Kimmel show maybe 10 years ago or so, right? And he did the all-mocking tongue, and he's talking about Illuminati, and that Jimmy Kimmel's a part of it, and all these famous people and politicians and people of power and influence are a part of it, and they influence. He's saying kind of weird things, right? And he was even saying at one point that a believer in Jesus Christ. So this guy, but what he's really doing is he's part of it, okay? And I think that's what he was telling you when he looked all different. People think he's dead. He might be dead. I don't know. It could be a clone. It could be a lookalike. Some people were saying it looked like Keanu Reeves, which it certainly did look like Keanu Reeves. It looked like a cross between him and Jim Carrey, funny enough. And if you look at a picture from Jim Carrey 10 years ago, 20 years ago to now, I mean, he looks a lot different. Now, if you know anything about the occult, another reason could be it could still be Jim Carrey, but these guys are obsessed with being young, right? With surgeries, with things they can do to make themselves look young through the medicines that they have access to that we don't, of course, right? And they depict these things in movies and stuff where they show that this technology exists and people do it, but there's always a catch, right? To where they start to look different. They don't look like themselves almost. They start to almost look non-human, because Jim Carrey doesn't look human really. It's almost like he looks like fake, right? He doesn't look very healthy or I don't know how to describe it, but he looks weird, right? And it doesn't look like him. So we can get into all the different allegations, whether he's really dead, because he mentioned he's dead. But I think what he was really saying is that his character is dead. The way you view him as is dead. Because all of these people are just characters. Jim Carrey is a character, and he's part of it. And this is like what I was saying earlier, is people just cannot... Listen, I like Jim Carrey. He's actually one of my favorite actors. I think he's funny. I think he's entertaining. Yeah, I'll take that from him. But you know what? I know who he is. I'm not going to go listen to his bullshit messages that he puts out there and follow his lead, because I know better. I have the knowledge to know. Just like with the Epstein files, I'm not going to get caught up in it because I have the knowledge. I know better. And this is what people just got to understand. You got to stop looking at the government to tell you answers, to give you solutions especially. And you got to stop looking at these people for entertainment. Stop watching these sports and these millionaires, right? I mean, stop watching men in put on pads and throw around a football and get paid millions of dollars to do so, while you sit at home on your ass and watch this shit and drink alcohol or whatever you do and eat Cheetos while you watch it. I mean, people got to wake up, man. Like it's nice that all this truth is out there because listen, if you think 5 years ago like any of this shit with Jim Carrey would be viral the way it is? Of course not. But they want you to know it was on purpose. They obviously did it intentionally, because first of all, Jim Carrey looks completely different. Everyone was noticing it. Look at the comments of any post about this, and everyone is agreeing that like he died or something happened to him, right? And maybe something did, or maybe this is just a result of all the rituals he's put himself through, the whatever kind of technology and medicine he has access to, that he does, whatever spiritual practices he does. It might be just the result of that. Another thing I want to touch on here is the whole situation going on with Iran. Now, apparently, we killed one of their leaders over there, and there's a red flag waved of revenge. All this talk about war, rumors of war, the same old stuff that goes on for years. Netanyahu, since the 1980s, talking about how Iran is just days away from building a nuclear weapon. I mean, it's just the war on terror all over again, like it is with 9/11. And hey, people still fall for it, man. People just do not change. And this is why I don't expect anything. This is why my content sounds negative, and why I have to be negative and sound like an asshole sometimes, because people just don't fucking get it, man. And excuse me, it's like you want to keep supporting a politician and vote and wasting your time voting for them, even though we all know, or we should know, that your votes don't even count because presidents are selected, not elected. No matter, like, one minute they'll say, I don't want to cause war with Iran, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, but then when they get elected, they do it, or they say they're gonna do something, right? And then when they get elected, they don't do it. I mean, it's people just gotta wake up, man. People gotta grow up and wake up. I don't know what it's gonna take. You're gonna have to lose everything, man. Like, if you're an older person, right, you've been working for a long time, there's an agenda to take your retirements. So this is why I would suggest, if you're older, just cash out, because the system is coming to an end and you don't want to get caught up. I'm already going to get caught up. I really don't have much of a future. I truly don't. It's not because I'm lazy or I'm not talented or I got no skills or whatever, or I'm not ambitious. It's because of what's going on around me. I can't make a living for myself in this economy. The wages just do not keep up with inflation. Every year, rent is going up. Something goes up. My car insurance goes up, right? Everything, gym membership, phone bill. It's just like everything, groceries especially, everything is rising. And it's hard for anyone to keep up. You know, my parents, right, for example, my mom's retired. My dad didn't retire yet. And it's like, he's 65. Do I want to work until I'm his age and still be questionable about questioning my finances? Because that's the situation they're in. My parents aren't rich. They're middle-class people. So when my dad retires, it's probably going to be hard for them. I don't know what's going to happen to them long term, Hell, I don't even know what's going to happen to myself. I don't even know really what's going to happen in the world exactly. I can't predict that. And I'm not here to do that. I'm telling you, I know their playbook. I know exactly what they're capable of, the powers that be, that I always warn about. But the problem is the lack of care that people have. They just have such a lack of care when it comes to these things. I want to get out of that video there because it's lagging for whatever reason. I don't know if that's going to come out on your end or if it's just on mine, but nonetheless, we'll take a look at my my little slideshow here of images as I speak. But anyway, when it comes to Iran, they don't have a central banking system, right? That's controlled by Rothschild. That's one of the biggest reasons why the United States is picking on them and wants to go in there, because let's be real, there is no nuclear weapons, okay? Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. What is it? Hamas doesn't have dangerous weapons or is a terroristic threat to anyone. Who do you know in your life that has been harmed or harassed or been a victim of a terrorist, right? A so-called terrorist. The real terrorists are the people who you see every day on TV, such as Donald Trump, such as anyone in the Conservative Party or Liberal Party or Democratic Party, whatever, okay? Anyone you see on TV, okay? All these people either are useful idiots or part of the agenda. And they are pushing narratives on people, and the people simply buy it, okay? I don't know what you want me to do or say. That it's as simple as that. The media is controlled. If you want to know who's controlling it all, it's the people who started and funded the Federal Reserve and are still stakeholders in that. It's very simple, okay? The international bankers, you might want to know who controls them. Well, there's elite families. It's a dark occult. You're not going to know every single person. You don't need to know every single person, okay? Whether the top of the pyramid is aliens or demons or interdimensional beings or whatever, or it is just humans and they're just the super rich elite that's been here for thousands of years, whatever. But you know who the real top is? The real top is me and you. They can only get away with what the people allow. Okay? The people are enslaving themselves. They don't do anything physical to us. It's all mental and mind effing manipulation. They mind F you. And you don't realize it. You're too prideful to think that you're getting mind effed every day. You need to grow a brain, man. You need to wake up. You need to understand you're being played by both parties. What should we do? How about we all collectively stop showing up to our jobs? How about we all collectively stop paying taxes? Stop paying this outrageous rent. Stop paying for food and for groceries. Why don't we just starve the beast? Why don't we stop giving it our attention? This is what I always say. Just starve the beast. And this is like an impossible task at this point. To get most of humanity on the same page is like an impossible task. And it's just so crazy how there's truth out. There's truth out here. We know that people in the White House and stuff are pedophiles. And it doesn't matter who. It's just that people make excuses for the people they like. They make excuses for Trump because all Trump's got to say is, oh, it's a Democrat hoax. The Democrats are doing this. And I'm seeing people on X, right, here in the state of New Jersey talking about election fraud from 2020. I mean, are you kidding me? We're talking about election fraud from 2020 at this point in time. I mean, that is just the least important and least vital thing to be focusing on is voting. But people do it. And midterms is coming up, and we're already seeing the propaganda rolling out about it. I mean, the marketing is so heavy during voting time. It's nuts, man. It is nuts. It's so heavy that even people who know better are still going to go vote. That's how heavy the mind manipulation is when it comes to voting and how much they market it to you. So I got a funny little meme I'll bring up here. It goes with what I was just saying. And it's this. I mean, I don't know, man. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. And you don't even have to be a Trump. I don't like that it says Trump supporter. You don't have to be a Trump supporter, right, as this meme might say. You don't. But what we're all doing this. We're pretty much all just saying, it's, okay, yeah, our politicians, our celebrities, all these people with influence and people who dictate our lives are all pedophiles and do these horrific things with children. Yeah, nothing to see here. Let's just go to work. Let's pay our taxes. I don't know what to say. I can't do anything. You people are the ones that don't care. You don't care. I've been on here talking about this shit for damn near 7 years now. And it's not doing much, right? There's plenty of people out here who are bigger than me who talk about these things, right? And there's like a minuscule percentage of people that really get it and try to do something. But humanity collectively doesn't give a shit and is too stupid and is too ignorant to understand it. They lack the knowledge to see the bigger picture or how it affects them. I mean, why do you want to continue supporting a system that you know is corrupt? If they're doing this on the federal level, what the hell do you think they do on the state level or even in your local politics? Right in your town, in your neck of the woods, huh? Oh, man. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, like I always am. I don't know what else to do or say. People just lack care. They don't care. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about anyone around them. They don't care about anything. They just care about their ego. They care about their petty feelings and emotions. And they care about what's going to give them short-term pleasure and make them feel good. That's all people care about. And listen, I know I can already hear it. It would have been worse with Kamala Harris, right? That's the biggest comeback or the first thing people want to say if you criticize Trump or anyone considers Trump. They think you'd prefer the opposite side. But people, again, they got to get over politics. They got to get over the fact that the government is not your friend and not here to help you in any way, shape, or form. So this tweet here, right? Dr. Alex Zick makes very good content. I suggest you follow him on here if you have. Subscribe to his YouTube channel or whatever. Because it's true. What he witnessed was many health and freedom oriented people beginning to wake up to the illusion of authority and began to seek solutions outside of the mainstream system. Mind you, this was mainly how conservatives and right wing leaning people were during that era, Joe Biden's presidency, right? And when COVID was happening. But when Trump was elected, many of those same people fell right back into the illusion of authority and trusting that solutions could come from changing the system from within. And this is what I've been talking about ever since Trump came back in office. The people who actually would have helped make better change than progressives, in my opinion, would have been conservatives. But conservatives have turned into liberals. They are liberals. And then you have progressives. It's progressives versus liberals. Because the Trump supporters, that whole crowd, and I know a lot of them have kind of pulled away, and there's a ton of division within the MAGA crowd now. But the basis is they were stupid enough, as just the same mistake just keeps getting repeated infinitely. That people keep thinking the next politician is different. This one's going to change. This time stuff is going to be different. You got fooled. You got played. It's Israel first. It's not the United States first. Right? I mean, Trump keeps constantly putting Israel before America, and I know that the whole JQ's control the world conspiracy theory has gotten huge, and obviously Zionism is a big problem. It's not just Zionists or Jews that control the world. It's them partnered with a whole ton of high-ranking occultists and other and Freemasons and all these, Skull and Bones, right? It's a partnership of all these ancient occults, bloodlines that have been around for a long time, and they all interbreed with each other, right? Because they're united. The evil, wicked people of this world are united, and your average everyday person is not. We're not united with each other. We don't say hi to each other. We don't speak about certain things because we self-censor all the time. We don't want to make people uncomfortable. People are too immature to talk about these things. Some people just don't pay attention at all to anything and can't even speak about it because they don't pay attention, because they see that politics divides people and all that. Anyway, but listen, ever since Trump became president again, I haven't shut up about how conservatives and people who support Trump are no different than liberals and progressives. They're the exact same, just a different flavor of whatever the hell they're trying to push. And another thing, too, is that, right, Bill Clinton went under oath or some shit and said Trump had nothing to do with Epstein files or didn't know. And, of course, the MAGA people make all these excuses for Trump. Trump didn't know. Oh, he was being threatened. He got fooled. Oh, no, he just wasn't aware of what was going on. I mean, come on, man. You got to be a real naive child to believe some of these things that MAGA believes, man. It's ridiculous. And, look, liberals and conservatives are the same, man. There's not much of a difference between them. I guess, the final thing I want to say here about everything is you have to have knowledge. The Epstein thing, and I haven't even spoke much about Epstein files since it's been a thing up until this year, really. Because I'm telling you, it's a distraction, and it's a government-controlled conspiracy where you're getting their narrative. You're not getting the real narrative. They're giving you some truth, but mixing it with a lot of lies and misleading things. I don't know what it's going to take for people to wake up. You have no future. Your future has been hijacked from you. You've been fooled. You've been duped. You've been manipulated. You've been hoodwinked. You've been played. I can't put it any more simple for you, bro. You have to be the one that gets curious. I can't give you all the answers. I can only make you aware of what's going on, and you have to do the research on your own. Because until you take the liberty upon yourself to actually seek truth, you'll never understand it, or you'll never even have the care to try and understand it. And that's the biggest thing. People need care. People need to care about themselves and their lives and actually do something and learn something. Just because you went to college doesn't mean you learned anything. In fact, if you went to college, you're even more brainwashed than someone who didn't go, I would say. Because I've noticed that people with the so-called higher education degrees, like a master's degree, PhD, bachelor's, whatever, they tend to be even more brainwashed than people who didn't go, because they proved that they're good little sheep who can comply with the system, who will sit down, do what they're told, and not comply. And not question anything. They're just going to comply with everything. They won't question any authority or question anything. And that's exactly the kind of little slave the system wants. That's why no one rebels, no one rises up, because everyone is content. No one even really understands how deep the rabbit hole goes, and that's a really big problem as well. Because as long as people don't understand where things really go or how deep the rabbit hole is, or as long as they lack knowledge of the bigger picture, they're going to keep getting fooled by this system somehow or some way, and they're not going to like where they end up. So I think I pretty much said everything I needed to say. I don't know what else to say. I wanted to come up on here because I haven't made videos. I haven't made a video or anything in the past 2 weeks. I've been dealing with a lot. I really just wanted to rant because I just hate the system, man. I hate the system. It pisses me off that people just nonstop comply to it. It pisses me off that each and every day people are just such walking zombies because it affects my life. You know what? I would say before COVID and I was waking up, right? Because I started waking up in 2017, right? Like these things I would speak about with people, they would always say like, this doesn't affect my life. And I can kind of see what they meant. But ever since COVID came around and all those restrictions came, and because people were stupid enough and fearful enough to listen because they were scared and they wanted the government, mommy, daddy government to be their savior and come in and tell them what to do and give them rules, it affected my life. I had to wear mask places, right? I was told I was selfish because I didn't get a you-know-what inside me. And that's a whole different topic, but you get my point. It's frustrating, man. People even have admitted that I'm right throughout these years. It doesn't happen often, right? But there's been people that said I was right and they wish they listened. But, you know, like how many times, it's like always after the fact they're gonna say this. It's like in the moment people don't want to listen. In the moment they don't want to listen, but when push comes to shove, you know, maybe they'll say, oh yeah, you were right. But why don't you listen to me now? If I was right about all these things in the past that have come into fruition and that are just on the horizon here knocking at the door, what else do you think I'm right about? And this isn't an I'm right, you're wrong thing. I'm telling you the truth because this is the greater work. This is care. This is my life's purpose, is to warn people as best I can. And thank God we have technology the way we do. We have media. It's easy to get these things out here and get in front of people, you know, and again, it's hard, of course, to get people's attention, but it's easy to put yourself in front of people. And there's an aesthetic that comes to making content. You know, obviously you can't just sit here and talk like a lot of content creators try to do. Like they just sit and talk and there's no real editing that goes on. It doesn't look appealing. Because again, man, like I've said a million times already in this video, it's so hard to get people's attention that you gotta like make things look aesthetic or grab people's attention a certain way and hope that they listen for more than 10 seconds. But anyway, please, like I said in the very beginning, follow me on X, subscribe to here on my YouTube channel. Again, all my full videos are on YouTube, okay? If you want to watch them, they're on YouTube. The clips are all on social media. I have an X, I have a TikTok, I have Instagram, I have Snapchat. Everything will be below. Whatever platform you have, please follow me on there. Thank you, everyone. Leave a comment what you think about everything I said here. And hope you enjoy the rest of your week, everyone. Take care now. Raise up!